solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry.
This deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Riddles Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddles Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddles Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest, and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddles Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddles Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddles inside Gateway Mall.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog? A cat? Or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. You're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
I do not at all regret to inform you that the baddest man on the planet has done it again. Bobby Witt Jr. Solo home run, top of the 8th inning. Royals back on top of the Guardians 4-3. Not airing. Game 1 of the makeup doubleheader. Regularly scheduled game will be on our airwaves at 5 o'clock tonight. That's the news of the day. Bobby Witt Jr. remains that man. I believe that extends his hitting streak. Maybe he didn't have a hit last. I don't remember. Anyways, Bobby Witt Jr., baddest man on the planet, solo home run.
Did you ever doubt it?
Part. No.
You doubted it.
Never. Never once. I know better. I know better.
You were down.
I know better.
You were down for Super Otani. That was your guy.
Yeah, I'm an Otani guy. Of course I'm an Otani guy.
That was your Superman.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
But Bobby's that dude.
Okay.
Bobby's the baddest man on the planet right now.
All right. I like it.
Yeah. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland.
Is he taking them to the playoffs?
Of course he is.
We'll see.
Of course he is. 4.5 game cushion, 30 to go.
What do they got to do?
Be a game or two above 500 the rest of the way. That's it.
That's it.
It's doable.
Yeah, okay.
Boston ain't coming. Sorry, not sorry, Buck. We'll see. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you. This is On the Block, brought to you by Nebco. Hope you all had a great weekend. Hope your week is off to a great start. If you're listening to On the Block, I already know your week's off to a great start. We're glad to be with you here for the next couple hours here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Streaming worldwide on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, as well as locally on Allo channel 961. We're taking your thoughts all show long at 402-464-5685. Strick, we'll get into plenty of Nebraska football here throughout the show. A couple other headlines from the weekend. Georgia Tech upsets Florida State in Ireland. A top 10 team loses in the first game of the year. Nebraska fans know that feels like, well, not the top 10 part recently, but losing the first game of the year over in Ireland. Danny Jansen made some history today. He was playing catcher for the Blue Jays when a game got suspended. The game's being made up today, but in between, he got traded to the Red Sox. So we went from being at bat in the suspended game to having a pinch hitter for him while he's behind the dish for the other team. First time in Major League history a player's played for the same team in 2 games. And the thing I really want your thoughts on, Stricky, 4-year, $100 million guaranteed extension for CeeDee Lamb could be worth up to $136 million. Took long enough, but the Cowboys finally get it done with CeeDee Lamb.
Well, first they really had to figure out this the Dak Prescott situation. They really got, and they were able to get a kind of a restructure on that. Not much of, but the cap hit dropped, I don't know, some $6 million or something like that. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't as bad, but you're still not out of the woods, my boy.
No.
You still got Micah Parsons looking right behind. He's peeking around the corner like
and Parsons might even be better relative to position than CD.
Right. So my question then becomes, Austin, is CeeDee Lamb's contract, is it a movable one to where a need out there, because he is valuable, but I don't think they wanted him to be a market setter. They wanted to kind of, I think with CeeDee Lamb, you kind of wanted to know what you're getting, right?
Oh, for sure.
It's a big deal, definitely incentive laden.
Yep.
That means you got to put in the work, you got to prove it, but it doesn't kill the cap, as much, because it's not the actual salary. So it could work. I think they can attribute those incentive bonuses as a part of like a bonus. So
there's like a $34 million signing bonus for him.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. So, is it a tradable thing? Are you just basically a kick? It's kind of a dual pattern. Are you looking at Dak? Are you looking at both? And then are you deciding on how you're going to move from there? But in knowing that, you also have to consider what Micah is going to do if he wants to walk, because you're having to unload. So they're in a tricky situation, Austin. They really are. I mean, to me, it could, unless they're pressing on the door of a Super Bowl, Dak can't continue to take those type of L's, like where you're excellent in the season and you get to a playoff game, you get ousted. Mm-hmm. If you're not knocking on the door of a Super Bowl, they're probably going to move on from him. That's going to set you back, because now you've got to find a quarterback and you've got to rebel from scratch from that. That's not always easy.
But on the flip side of that, if Dak does walk and the Cowboys trade up to get a guy in the draft,
there'll be plenty of money.
That's the model to win in the NFL right now, is to get a quarterback on a rookie deal surrounded by elite talent everywhere else.
You're absolutely right. The problem then becomes they've had to, because of these salary cap issues, they haven't been able to keep. Obviously, you remember when they had to move the linebackers, they got blessed, not blessed from the standpoint of the injury. He got injured. We're not saying that. No. But Van Der Esch, yep. That was a contract that was sitting on him, and now they don't have to. They chose Jalen,
I don't know.
I can't remember his last name. They chose him at first, and then they had to really move him. And so they've been doing this shuffle game.
Yeah,
Jalen Smith, right? They've been doing this shuffle game, and now all of a sudden they're at a point where I like the model, but they don't have a treasure trove of movable talent. Do they have draft capital? I don't think they have a whole bunch of that. You can tell me. But I don't think they're full of draft capital to where they can move, because I think they're going to be pretty good. They're not going to be as bad to be able to be up there already to move up the board. They're going to have to unload a lot to get up high enough to get somebody that can fill that
They
spot.
have all their picks in 2025.
Okay, well, they do have they can. So that's a fine line you're playing. It's a tricky line, but if you don't hit, it can set your organization back some years, right?
Yeah. To your question, is CeeDee Lamb's contract tradable? If someone needs a wide receiver one, right?
Yeah.
They'll find room for him. CeeDee Lamb is that dude. He is so good. But let me ask you this, Strick. If you're Micah Parsons, the NFL, you guarantee some of the contract, but not all of it. If you're Micah Parsons, do you try to get an extension done with Dallas? Or do you think you could test the free, the open market and get more money?
Now, my thing is, I don't fully understand the changes and the adjustments on the football side of it. I could tell you on the basketball side, if it was a basketball situation, your team can sign you for more than any other team could.
Bird rights.
I don't know how that works in football. If you go out in football, is it like you get an extra year if you stay with your team? I can't remember if that's the case, because I know they've made some adjustments to that. But Dallas, I begrudgingly say there may be somebody out there that may be more interesting than Dallas at that point in time. I think he's actually frustrated. I think he likes the style. I think he loves the defense and the way that they play, the style that they play. I just think he's frustrated with leadership and not
winning.
You know what I mean? Not putting the right. I don't think he believes they're making the right moves. There's a lot of that comes to it. So I think he could look elsewhere. Now, what would be a good fit for him? I think anywhere would be a good fit for him.
You make it fit. You make it work.
Right. So
I think the perfect fit would be next to DeForest Buckner in Indianapolis. Personally.
Of course you would.
Personally.
Of course you would.
I'm just throwing that out there.
How's your boy doing anyway, by the way?
My boy?
Yeah.
Which boy?
AR.
Yeah, up and down, as expected. Still not fully sold, but not fully out either. So
yeah,
10 touchdowns, 4 picks, I think, in the preseason. So
okay.
I don't know. We'll see. He'd look better if he was thrown to Micah Parsons too. So put Micah Parsons at wide receiver.
Put him at running back. Shoot. Let him be the next Zeke Elliott.
I'm not mad about it.
That boy he can do whatever he want to do.
Hashtag Parsons to Indy 2025.
Oh gosh.
Let's start it now. Let's go to break. When we get back, we'll go through the Husker depth chart. I'm sure you've heard it all day, but I know I have some more thoughts. I know Stricky has some more thoughts. We'll give you the 2 deep for the Huskers, maybe some interesting third string names as well. We'll take your comments, questions, concerns on the depth chart at 402-464-5685. Anything we haven't hit on yet that you want to hear, let us know. We'll get to it when we get back from break.
The 2024 Nebraska football season is here, and we need you to be a part of the Sea of Red Memorial Stadium this fall. A limited number of Husker football single-game tickets are on sale now and are only available while supplies last. Don't miss out on any of the action this season by getting yours before it's too late. To purchase your Husker football single-game tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at USC in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at HuskerFanTravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a downtown LA hotel, exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at USC. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at HuskerFanTravel.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G35609. 9493 must trade.
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog, a cat, or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. And Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Allow me to get a bit sappy. For women, jewelry isn't just a gift. It's a timeless symbol of love and appreciation. You have to get this right. No fleeting trends or gadgets will make the impact. Every time she wears it, every time she gets a compliment, you win. Trust me, guys, you'll get your money worth. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're diving into the Nebraska football depth chart here during On the Block. Big Bird says the real winner for the Colts is their hype man on social media. Have you heard those, Stricky?
No.
I'll play them for you during break. I'm going to make sure I have to get those recorded here before the NFL season actually starts because they are incredible.
It's good stuff.
Seth, yes. You'll appreciate them. You'll enjoy them. Stricky, depth chart released today. Not surprising, right? We're here at game week. Let's take a second. We're at game week.
It's
we
crazy.
Made it. Long off season.
It's
lots
crazy.
of discussion already. And Stricky, we're here.
We're
game
here.
week. We
We're
made
here.
it.
And going into it, Austin, I was a little worried about a couple things. One, how freaking blazing hot it was going to be.
Check.
How stormy it was going to be. How dead it was going to be. I I think the Olympics provided a good buffer.
Yes.
A little bit of controversy, some discussion topics, the Australian breakdown. I mean, it gave you just a little bit of tidbits and, the situation with Noah Lyles, the expectations of what was to be, not be. Sha'Carri Richardson, same thing. The controversy of them not letting people get to the fields and some coming out of the blocks, young ladies and men who you didn't see them on the radar. They end up winning. Like I think the hurdler, she's from Kentucky. Like her, she was 110 hurdles, and Masai Russell. I think that's it. Like people like you had these kinds, so it kept us busy through the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it pops up and we're right here. Football.
1
week away. Well, half a week away now.
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited.
A lot being made of the running back position. No starter
No
name.
one name.
You get 4 names. You get 3 oars separating them. That's interesting.
Is that a good or bad thing?
What do you think?
Why are you asking me? I'm asking you.
I'm asking you. I've already talked about it
You
today.
see how your boy turns it on, Stricky. No, real talk. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that, especially this early, because there's still, I think, an establishment of style of running game, how effective the line is going to be. Are they going to be able to base block? Is it going to be a trap blocking team? Is it going to be a pulling team? Is it going to be a whamming team or combination?
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain people that run well with those different styles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because some you need vision, some you need to be able to hit holes quickly, some you need to be able to be powerful to sneak through areas but still break arm tackle. So I think they're still trying to figure that part out in these early stages of the games. Who's going to be good in pass blocking? And I think they have good running backs. They just don't know who's going to give them a bell cow flow that can be a 3-down type of guy, or what type of rotation it's going to be. So that's why I think we're okay right now.
And see, I think they're all serviceable.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have a bunch of great. I don't think they have a bunch of good options. I think they have a bunch of serviceable options. I described it this way, Strick. I don't think that anyone has separated themselves because I think they're all different. And I think that that's going to require some really close situation management by the coaching staff, by Coach Barthel, by Coach Satterfield calling the plays, and Coach Rule, obviously. And that's okay, right? Ideally, you have one guy step up. But at this point, it doesn't look like that's going to happen, right? I wouldn't be shocked to see this competition, and, they might even go week by week, through the first 3, 4, even 6 weeks of the season, potentially. What that tells me is that even if you're not going to name a consistent starter or a number 1, you can still distribute roles.
Right.
This is where you are best. This is where Emmett Johnson, your quickness works best. Gabe Irvin, this is where your toughness works best.
Or
Ramir Johnson, this is where your catching
Yeah.
works best. Dante Dowdell, this is where your stamina works best, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have a true 1, 2, 3, 4, but as long as those guys know what their roles are, when they're going to be used and how they're going to be used, yes, it's easier to game plan.
Good.
Yes, it's more predictable, but that might be the path for more success for Nebraska's running backs this year.
Yeah. In essence, yeah. I mean, I think we're touching each other, pause, by way of
we can't do this on a Monday. We can't do that one on a Monday.
I didn't mean it that, but
you can't do that on a Monday.
I think we're coming. Our heads are coming together in a similar way, just being spoken.
We're on the same page.
On the same page.
We're on the same page.
There you go.
Let's also talk about Janarin Bonner, Stricky, fullback last year, and now listed as the starting slot.
Yeah.
That's a big slot receiver too, right? You're used to your Wes Welker types, your Wan'Dale Robinsons at Nebraska. Janarin Bonner listed at 6'2", 220 in the slot. What do you think about that for him in Nebraska?
That's crazy. I mean, that's in essence kind of like having a big tight end there. So you've got a couple things with that type of size. Good blocking. So I think you're able to take angles in blocking and scheme with a guy that size, if he's willing to do the work, and I'm pretty sure that that's a reason why they have him there, as well as a Carter Nelson, and because I think they're going to try to set edges a little bit differently than they did before. I think they're going to ask more of. We'll get to him, of Fedoni. I think they're going to ask more of him, but I think getting angles on guys, being able to set angles on guys. Like, for example, you can run some form of outside tackle, inside of tight end type of play with a mixed direction, because you're gonna need to take time to allow those blockers to move, crash down, and then you can run out. So you let that D end get up, push him with the tight end, get out, and come down with some form of a linebacker crack, and now you've got outside leverage with hopefully Fedoni getting, instead of, if you don't want to smoke with the defensive end, well, let's give you some with this safety or with this
with a linebacker or slot corner, anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's ways with that type of size out there, because those angles set up real well. And especially if you got D ends that just fly upfield and stuff like that, and they don't come down. Even if they do, you can still do some things with them by kicking them out with guards or something like that. So anyway, I don't know. I'm giving you guys a big picture of a lot of stuff, but that size is not bad out there. Slot guys on smaller guys, post up situation, curl situation, drags underneath linebackers. I mean, there's a lot of stuff with that size you can do.
I think tomorrow we'll really dive into the wide receiver position, because there's a lot there. Jalen Lloyd outside, Malachi Coleman third string, backup slots. I think we save that for a big segment tomorrow. Talk through some different combinations and possibilities there. But before we go to break, Stricky, really quick on defense. A listener pointed this out, and you read through the depth chart, and it's one of those things but it probably doesn't hit you until you hear it said. No freshmen and no sophomores listed with the projected starters for the Nebraska defense. This is an old unit. This is a veteran experienced unit. And I think, again, it's going to be the strength of the team, where not only is it continuity for continuity's sake, but Nebraska brings back not just a lot of guys who have played, but a good number of guys who have played in this system at a decently high level for a top 15 defense last year. I get the hype why people are excited about the Husker defense, especially the D-line.
The depth. I just think they got wore out. One, you're out there way too long, a couple of times. And I think when you're out there so long, there's over time, when you really need that big one, sometimes it's just you just don't have enough. You're hoping to get better production out of Elijah Judy, and hopefully he's seen the light and understands that, look, you can be a real big player within this system. I love the combo of Ty Robinson and Van Poppel over there on that other side. And I like what Jamari Butler, I mean, that you can interchange probably both of those positions at any given time, depending on who's performing and who's not. So I like what they got going on that D-line.
I'm with you there. Quick question from the text line. Mr. Cub says, is Bonner going to be the Huskers' Deebo Samuel?
Nah, I don't think he's that. I understand what you're saying. I don't think he's as shifty as Deebo. I think he'll be good in the pass game. I think he'll be good in the possession, move the chains. If Dylan's able to get off of uncoverages real quick, look at him, get off and get to a Bonner with something sitting down in front, late cut or something into an open area, I think he'll be good there. But I don't think he's going to be a regular option. I think they're going to, put guys in there when they want to really blow the top off of the secondary. I think they'll have somebody else in there in that spot, but I think he'll be good for the blocking, early downs, for running game and possession game, potentially when they don't need a lot of large. Like if they're short on the chains, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, he's going to be a guy that can do a lot of that stuff in short routes and be able to block off, field off, get physical with a guy and get open. So I think that's where he'll be valuable.
I don't have a great one-to-one comparison for Janaron Bonner right now.
No.
He's not as good yards after the catch as Deebo Samuel, like you said, and he's not going to get handoffs in the backfield either, right? I don't think that's going to be a part of his game. I'm a little worried when you tell me there's a big slot receiver against smaller corners because you don't want to leave the ball high over the middle. That's just asking for disaster, especially if it gets tipped up. But like you said, situationally, there's a role for it. I don't think he's just like a split out receiving tight end at all. I think he's more of a true receiver than that. But Matt Rule even said, you could shift him into the backfield if you wanted to, or shift him in line to be kind of that H-back. He's a chess piece. We haven't seen Nebraska with a guy like him. And I don't think we've seen the full vision for how Nebraska would use a player like him, right? They thought he was a fullback last year, couldn't keep the weight where they wanted it to be. So they said, okay, let's try it in the slot. I don't even think he's an outline for Carter Nelson down the road. Maybe he's a prototype and Carter Nelson takes it a step further, but I just don't think we haven't seen Nebraska use a player like Janaron Bonner, how I think Nebraska wants to use him. So I don't know about you, Stricky, but I'll be monitoring his usage to see if what you're saying does actually come to pass or if Nebraska has a different vision.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we're counting down till kickoff on Saturday. We'll definitely keep our eyes on Janaron Bonner than the wide receivers. We'll definitely talk more about that tomorrow. Lots of interesting names and potential lineup combinations there. When we get back, we'll wrap up the hour with my boy, Cooper Flagg, signing a shoe deal. We have Lincoln Salt Dogs tickets. We have them for tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. First 3 people in that can name a current New Balance athlete can have tickets and a parking pass to the Salt Dogs. 4 tickets and a parking pass are yours. Just name a current New Balance athlete. 402-464-5685. We'll wrap up hour 1 right after this. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
The Sleep Gallery at Schaefer's can help take the labor out of your Labor Day. Rest easy with special Labor Day savings so you can transform your restless night into a perfect sleep. And it all starts on a new Serta Perfect Sleeper mattress, now with up to $700 in Labor Day savings. Or you can get up to $1,200 off on a new Beauty Rest Black mattress when you add an adjustable base. Plus, get up to 48 months interest-free. Transform your sleep and rest easy this Labor Day in the Sleep Gallery at Schaefer's.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G356093 must trade.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mainly sunny skies, and it will be hot. We'll see an afternoon high around 104. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise mainly clear with the low near 71. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise mostly sunny, the high around 91. I'm meteorologist Kyle Huck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What's the radon level at your home? Don't know? Find out with a call to Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Make sure your home is safe with a radon check from Bryant. If you've already tested, ask Bryant for a free estimate for mitigation. Once completed, you'll get a report showing how much safer your home is. When it comes to radon, call Bryant 467-1111 for testing and mitigation. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Power outages can impact traffic lights. If you come across a non-functioning traffic light, treat the intersection as a four-way stop. Learn more safety tips at les.com/safety.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With Gold Class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Thursday's Lincoln Salt Dog tickets have been claimed. We still have tickets for Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll get that sorted out here on the text line 402-464-5685. The reason we're talking about New Balance athletes, Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you, by the way. Cooper Flagg, the next big thing, the next face of the NBA. Just kidding. That's going to be tough to do with Victor Wembanyama already in the league. The next face of college basketball, your next Naismith National Player of the Year. Bank it. I'm calling my shot right now. Cooper Flagg. It was announced today that he signed an NIL deal with New Balance to be a New Balance athlete. Of course, Strick, this flies in the face of Duke men's basketball being one of Nike's biggest brands. But Cooper Flagg sat down with a lot of different brands, Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, New Balance, all at the table. And he decides that New Balance is the way to go. And, you know, you mentioned it a little bit in the crossover. Back in the day, New Balance? You kidding me? But New Balance has had quite the glow up streak. I mean, you think about Shohei Ohtani is a New Balance athlete. In the NBA, you have Kawhi Leonard, Tyrese Maxey, Zach LaVine, and Jamal Murray. Sidney McLaughlin-Levrone, New Balance athlete. Cameron Brink in the WNBA, and Coco Gauff in tennis. New Balance, it still has kind of that stigma of, really? New Balance?
Right.
Because it's not Nike. But I kind of like this for Cooper Flagg, right? Yeah, there's some NBA players there, so he has maybe a path to develop it. But it's still, I think, new enough in the scene that he can differentiate himself and New Balance by signing with them instead of just being another Nike athlete.
Yeah, so it's crazy how the landscape has shifted, right? And One obviously had a hot run when you had that time frame when the N1 mixtapes was out. You know, they had a big run. Steph Marbury and the Starberries. Then you had the Shaq shoe. Like, they all tried to create their own. Doesn't really do well. Probably sell well on an international scale, especially like in China. That's where they made a lot of their money. But the big boys back then was Converse, Nike. And Nike wasn't even first back then. It was Converse.
Yeah.
Cons was ruling the market. Then they seemed to get very heavy. They were bulky. Like, Cons were just hard to move. It felt like playing in cement, right? Because you had the Chucks that just were thin as ice. You know,
cardboard.
They were like,
essentially,
basically ankles rolling everywhere. And then you had they did the extreme. They didn't have a balance. They weren't New Balance.
They needed a New Balance.
Right. And so you had them, you had Reebok, you had all of these. Reebok era was run real strong. I was actually a Reebok player myself. And then it went south. Then emerges your Under Armour, which stepped on the scene as a football type of shoe initially. They really hit hard in the football market, crossed over with Steph in the basketball market because freaking Nike fumbled the ball with that one. Basically said he wasn't.
Yep.
You understand. We ain't gonna go into detail. Nike obviously hit hard, paused with Michael Jordan, and then created a little separation there with what they got going on. And New Balance was nowhere to be found. New Balance was, and I'm going to be honest with you.
That checkbook was not balanced.
No. New Balance was a low-end running shoe. When I say it was like having hush puppies. It was like, now some people like hush puppies. Now, I'm not
puppies, Stricky?
It was like having there was some funny names they used to have for tennis shoes, and I can't think of them all right now because it's been so long. But they were one of the low end type of brands because at that time running shoes was really good with Asics. Asics was like the premium brand in running shoe back then, right? You did not look at them in any form of being a basketball shoe, but I actually like some of their styling now. It's like it's crept up. It looked very basic. It was very blah. It was very, but now they're kind of starting to find their way into the marketplace. Another brand that popped on the scene back in the day that kind of fell off was Puma.
Yeah.
They ended up going into, so some of them cross out.
Wasn't Usain Bolt Puma?
Yeah. Yeah. And some of them cross out, and that's what I'm saying. They end up going into things like soccer.
Yeah.
And some of them just switch and they find their niche. Like, for example, Reebok is still around. They're really heavy in UFC now. That's a lot of what they do. So New Balance popping on the scene, I think he's a great grab for them. I actually think, you look at a lot of people. I mean, we've seen a lot of people like your Keith Van Horns, and we've seen your Gordon Haywoods. I actually think that young man, Cooper Flagg, is special. A lot of those guys were nice guys. They were nice guys. Some of them had some kill to them. I actually thought Keith Van Horn was cool, but Keith Van Horn was very skilled. Stretch type of guy, similar. Not a good handle. Can get there and do things, but that young man's got the whole shebang. He got everything in his trick bag that he can give you some work with. And when he gets stronger, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
Indeed. Also, I think big for New Balance is that it's based in Boston and Cooper Flagg is from Maine. So I think being able to keep him somewhat regional as a face of the brand is probably good for New Balance as well. Even if they don't become a national brand, if they can take over, that section of the market, there's a lot of people up there in the Northeast. So maybe that's part of the strategy as well. We appear to be down on Twitter right now. We're going to try to get that
I relived it, and we'll see
it?
if it goes back up. Yeah. I relived it.
We'll keep trying here. If you missed us, if you were on Twitter, feel free to hop on our app. Again, it's free. It doesn't cut out. We got no issues with that ever. Go to your app store, find the app, just search 93.7 The Ticket, download it, listen wherever you are in the world, or find us on Facebook and YouTube, as well as Allo Channel 961, or of course, terrestrially FM 93.7 on your radio dial. Royals wrap up a 4-3 win over the Guardians. Game 2 tonight. Pregame in just about 2 hours. So 1 hour of Old School live on the air, and then we will be stream only for hour 2 of that show. But we're still with you here during On the Block. 3 o'clock hour comes your way, talking lots more on the Husker football front right after this.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Go hog wild, pit barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
It's all fun and games until you're stuck with bad internet. So why leave your connection up to chance? Fiber is fast and keeps you on track with reliable service from real people. Because with bad internet, buffering, hidden fees, and random robots can feel like start, stop, wait, start, no wait, stop, or just switch to Fiber and break free from misery. Visit allofiber.com/break free to get started with Fiber today.
All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m. Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Koppel. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G356093 must trade.
You can help fight deadly diseases like RSV and influenza while getting paid for your time. Velocity Clinical Research is now seeking clinical trial participants in your area. Participants can receive compensation for study-related time. No health insurance is needed to join. Find a study near you at velocitytrials.com. That's velocitytrials.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
The Sleep Gallery at Schaefer's can help take the labor out of your Labor Day. Rest easy with special Labor Day savings, so you can transform your restless night into a perfect sleep. And it all starts on a new Serta Perfect Sleeper mattress, now with up to $700 in Labor Day savings. Or you can get up to $1,200 off on a new Beauty Rest Black mattress when you add an adjustable base. Plus, get up to 48 months interest-free. Transform your sleep and rest easy this Labor Day in the Sleep Gallery at Schaefer's.
For 15 years, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping has been helping Lincoln become healthier, happier, and more fit through our proven combination of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. And to celebrate 15 years of success, we're offering you 50% off our next 10-week challenge beginning September 14th. That's 10 weeks of fun group fitness classes and individualized coaching for half off. And at the end of the 10 weeks, someone's walking away with $1,000 for the best transformation. Come check it out. What do you have to lose? Click on the banner at theticketfm.com to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill or 70th and Vine. And check us out online at fxblincoln.com.
The Link Grill Draft and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
We're back for hour 2 of the show, brought to you by NEBCO. I'm Austin Norman. To my left, your right on stream, Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet Eric Strickland. Plenty of football to get into. We'll talk with you ourselves for 15 minutes or so before we get Brian Munson of Husker Online on the horn, get his thoughts as he looks at the depth chart, and then what could be in store for the Huskers in recruiting. Again, we want to thank NEBCO for their sponsorship of the show. NEBCO's operations span the state of Nebraska and supply the construction industry with the materials needed to construct buildings, streets, and highways. They've been in business since 1908. They're a fourth-generation family-owned and operated business with over 1,200 employees and 26 companies throughout Nebraska. If you hear my voice on a spot here during 2 to 4 here during On the Block for NEBCO, you'll know they're hiring for all positions for a couple different companies. NEBCOinc.com if you would like to learn more. Stevie, you're listening on Facebook. Want to address your question here as well. Stevie asks, do we really know if Bonner is not good at yards after catch? I find it hard for someone to judge or compare that with another player when in reality, we don't know what he can do since he hasn't really been targeted for passes. It's true. It's fair. But Strick, I think you had a good take because, someone asked if we could compare him to Deebo Samuel, and we wanted to pump the brakes and say, let's not go that far yet.
Yeah. I mean, look, we can only go on what we've seen, what we've known, what we've observed, style. Let me just ask this question. No one puts someone at a fullback position if they're shifty, shaky, elusive. You don't use that type of person as a fullback. Usually fullbacks are straight line guys, physical, strong. You can make true what's the word? Not assumptions, but you can make an inference.
Yes.
As to what type of player he's going to be. You would have looked at us more crazy if we would have came out and said, he's Deebo Samuel's 2.0. And
Nebraska can use him just like
right
that.
now. I mean, you would have looked at us like we were crazy. The fact that we said, hold on now, we don't know that. If he comes out and he's Deebo Samuel's, woohoo! I'm going to be the first one to shout from the heavens. But to come out and say, for us to say, that we're just saying, hold on now, we can't say that. Just based on what we've seen, we can only infer as to what we think the style of his play is going to be. Not necessarily. We can't come out and just tell you definitively. And now would you think we would be credible in doing so? That's all I'm saying.
Right. And you can just look at the body type, and to your point, Strick, the fact they moved him to fullback and how he was used or not used. I think that can, again, imply a lot about what the coaching staff thinks about him. When you think about yards after catch.
Hold on real quick.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
go.
I just got to if he was Reggie Bush, you know what style of Reggie Bush is. Shifty, you couldn't stay in front of him. He dead leg you to death. And now, if you had seen that, observed that, you're not putting that type of person at a running back. That's like saying, I'm going to put Wan'Dale Robinson at running back. You know with Wan'Dale Robinson, you've seen him at Kentucky. We even didn't use him right.
Mm-hmm.
He was more like a Debo to me than what we can infer with Bonner. So I don't know. That's kind of wild to me. But
yeah,
okay.
No, I'm with you on that. And Stevie, let's just look at what we do know about Janarin Bonner, right? If you don't like us saying stuff we don't know, let's look at what we do know. We know that he's bigger than most slot receivers. At 6'2", Matt Rule said 218 today. That's really big for a guy in the slot.
So he's DK Metcalf now, just because he's 6. He's that size.
Well,
I mean, like that would be
DK's
crazy for us.
that even, right?
You know what I'm
but
saying?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
When you think of a slot guy and you think about how they typically get yards after catch, it's by making a guy miss. That's never necessarily been in the scouting report for Janarin Bonner.
Julian Edelman.
Yeah, no, he's not.
He's not him.
Not Wes Welker.
No.
Not on anyone like that. Again, bigger body type, and the fact that they moved him to fullback last year tells. I mean, here's the thing: he has more wiggle and more ability to break tackles than I do, right? But that's not the comparison. It's relative to the position,
right?
Right. If you tell me Jalen Lloyd was the slot guy, sure, there's yards after catch because we know Jalen Lloyd is fast. We know he has a good first step. Janarin Bonner, the way he's described, fundamental football player, solid all around, will make the right play. You're not hearing him described as a big play guy. He's versatile. He's a right. I'm not saying you can't.
Bro, I'm shifty at 218, and I still wouldn't consider myself to be Debo Samuels. I probably could be more than. You're missing the point, Steve. But we'll move on. Go ahead. I think he's missing the point of what we're not saying that he can't be that.
We're not saying he can't get some yards after the catch. I just don't think that's going to be the bulk of his yardage. I don't think that's going to be his
come
role.
back and see me afterwards. Come back. We should make a note of this. I'd love to track this just to see. You know what I mean?
We'll see. Stevie, appreciate your conversation, your engagement there. Let's turn the page here and hear from Matt Rule. Lots to get to here, Strick. And I think one of the biggest things is Nebraska actually gets to start a season at home. 4 years in a row, 2020, 21, 22, and 23. They've been A, on the road, and B, against a conference foe. Matt Rule was asked today, it's a longer cut, about 2 minutes, about how big a benefit it is to start the season at home. Here's the Husker head coach.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, it's only been 1 year, right? So, I mean, but I know that experience last year. And as I said, I thought I failed the team last year when we went to Minnesota preparing for the crowd noise. I didn't think I did a good enough job. And so we certainly, if you're in the chemistry lab or something, I'm sure you've heard the crowd noise pretty much every day at some point because we're preparing for when that time comes. But yeah, I'm really excited to be at home, right? And that's why, like even when you're at home and you get off the bus, right, and there's all your family and friends and fans, you do that walk in. To me, I think it's like a 4-minute walk. It takes 4 minutes for us. 4 minutes and 7 seconds, Doctor, because they time it for me. But to me, it's 4 minutes and 7 seconds of gratitude, right? It's 4 minutes for me and for our players to recognize that playing at home is about way more than just us, right? It's like fan day. I just reminded our guys, like, there might be kids at fan day that won't ever get a chance to come to a game, but they get a chance to come to fan day. Like, if you walked around, I don't think you saw any of our guys' phones out. I hope you didn't see them on their phones. I saw them interacting with. So it's the one chance we get on game day to interact with the fans, right? And just be reminded that, hey, that we're part of something bigger. And there's a reason why we ran that stadium all summer. And there's a reason why they were running those. So the reason why the coaches even ran it. I ran it once. And after that, I said, hey, guys, this is going to have to be a player-led team because I can't do this. But there's a reason why we did that because it's bigger than just us. Right? It's bigger than just one guy. It's about the team. It's about the university. It's about the state. It's about everyone that comes to the game. So I'm excited to be at home. I'm excited to have that lack of crowd noise. But along with that comes the distractions of, like, am I going to play a play and then wave to my mom, or am I just going to play the next play, right? And so there's a lot of things here that, with a older team they'll get, when some of the young guys get in there, we'll have to just keep refocusing them. And that's why I said what I said. We have to go like this every single game and get better. And that's why we're going to start off playing the way we want to play at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year. And if it doesn't look perfect early on, we're not going to flinch. We're not going to flinch. We're going to do what we do and just try to get better every year, every game, so that when we end the season, we'll have played our best game, the last game.
Lots there from Matt Rule over the last 2 minutes of audio, Strick, and a couple things stand out. He's right. It's only 1 year for him, and he, again, took blame for not getting his team ready to play at Minnesota with the crowd noise. Now you have a while till you get your first Big Ten road game at Purdue this year. I believe that's week 5 of the season. So you have some time to get ready and adjust for that. But I like how Matt Rule did the very Matt Rule thing and flipped the conversation to, we'll play anywhere, but we like this for our fans. It's a good reminder for the players that Nebraska football isn't just about us, the team within these walls. Nebraska football is about the state. It's about everyone. The 4-minute and 7-second walk that he brought up. I think it'll be good for this team, especially this offense at home, right? I think the defense can travel anywhere with upperclassmen, but breaking in a freshman starting quarterback with freshmen and some sophomores as your depth at wide receiver, with an unproven running back core, I think being at home in friendly confines for the first 4 weeks of the year, I know only one game at a time, but that gives those guys that time to gel, to coalesce, to get on the same page before you get into these, big, loud, mean road environments.
Yeah, I agree. I think they'll be tested and challenged emotionally, even though they're going to be at home. Because sometimes when you play at home, you can adrenaline dump.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You see it all the time when fighters, boxers, UFC fighters, or whatever. They've been hyped up. They've been charged. You go through all the, when they have the pre-fight stuff with the face-offs, and you're charged up, and you jump in that room, and your adrenaline in that ring, and your adrenaline's flowing. Next thing you know, you about wore out. This is what you're hoping to avoid. You're hoping to be able to mellow the team out, enjoy the process, learn and grow. But what you want to not have to do is, coming into Colorado, you're over. This is what the coaching staff is going to have to do, is really mitigate the emotions, because you're going to want you're good. I mean, like, that's going to be a fired up game. You went out there, they kind of halfway embarrassed you. You really tricked the game off yourself. They didn't really embarrass you because they just were super better than you, but you kind of tricked it off with turnovers and not finishing off drives and stuff like that. At home against that team, they're going to have to monitor that.
Yes.
That's why I think it's a good early test for them, because it's not the fourth game, because you can kind of get into a coast mode when you're not being challenged and you think you're better than what you are. And that's how you end up with the Wisconsin that 1 year where they beat the brakes off of us, I think, by 60 points or something like that, right? They had like 400 rushing. It was crazy. That's when you have that kind of problem. This is what we're trying to keep. And this is why I actually like the scheduling, because it's going to help them to grow as a young unit, especially on the offensive side. You're right. I think defense travels. So we'll see. We'll see.
Speaking of youth and at the quarterback position, let's hear a couple different quotes from Matt Rule on the starting quarterback. Dylan Raiola, second true freshman to ever start a season opener. Here's on the standard of play from what Matt Rule expects from Dylan Raiola.
Specifically strategy, but mindset-wise.
Yeah, Dylan's going to play. He's going to play the plays, right? He's going to, when we call drop back, he's going to go back there, take his drop, go through his progression. Just how we want him to play when he's a junior. We're going to start day one that way. We're not easing into anything.
And then Matt Rule on what he's seen from his starting quarterback in preparation for week 1 against UTEP.
Well, I think like anybody else, I mean, there's probably parts of it he likes, right? Like there's part, you like when kids have your jersey, and you like when people come up to you, and you like all that stuff. At the same time, I think he's done a good job so far of, always humbly working. To me, like he texted me every night last week, "May I please be late to curfew?" And he'd send he's still in the building, right? And so he's, I come in this morning to get my little old man workout in, and I go in, there's music in the cardio room. I'm like, who's in here? And he's in there riding the bike this morning at 6 a.m. So he understands that, to get all that, you have to have work. And, and I remind him, like, this position, when you're the quarterback at the University of Nebraska, you better be ready to ride the highs and lows. And your life better not be about what other people think about you. You know what I mean? It better not be that. And I think, he and his family have instilled that in him. So, and he's a good teammate. He does what he can with the fellows to help get them ready as well.
A lot of good stuff there, I think, on QB1, Stricky. We're on Monday. We'll ask this question again throughout the week. How are you feeling? What are you predicting? What are your thoughts on Dylan Raiola as starting quarterback now that we're actually here at game week?
Look, let me just speak from a basketball standpoint, because there's so many things about sports that you just can't duplicate in practice. You can prepare, but the speed, the intensity, all of that goes to a whole different level than probably because they don't want you going and killing each other. They want you to go hard, but they don't want you to, that's not where they're. It's not until you understand the quickness, the speed, the changes, the adjustments, what you thought you saw, they shift out into something else. Like, until you're in that and how fast that stuff occurs, and then you can begin to hopefully take on a Neo type of perspective where you go into slow down mode.
Where you're the chosen one.
And you start, you know what I'm saying? That's like, even for me, I can only speak from a basketball standpoint. Yes, as a freshman coming in, there were some things I was able to learn, with practice. We had a really good team, so our practices was sometimes just as hard as games because we were so deep. And I'm going against, Eric Pikowski every day, and so it's like,
was that good for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about it. It helps you, but that's the thing. We can simulate it. But it's not until you get into that real game and then you see the physicality, the intensity. Hopefully you don't adrenaline dump. You got a lot of things that begin to play in your mind because you want to do so well. And sometimes doing so well can cause you to do something that you shouldn't do. Or I'm going to thread this needle. No, you could do that in practice. No, not here. You know what I mean? And until you know that you can pinpoint accuracy, you're going to throw that ball low, until you've kind of worked that all out in game situations, you don't want to test the metal. Now you see it, you read it, you react, and you do it. But don't try to throw into double coverage because you think you're Superman. Those are the things that you can do. And then you hope that they, as coaches, keep you in practice. No. That ain't the read. That ain't the read. And hopefully you're able to make those adjustments in game time.
And hopefully the Nebraska defense has been playing full speed. But again, it's a lot of upperclassmen that have gotten, their time off, right? Because they're upperclassmen. They're managing their reps for the regular season. So UTEP's defense is probably going to play a little bit faster than the quarterback expects, than everyone expects, right? So how quickly can Nebraska settle in? Can you get a big play to jumpstart some of that energy, some of that confidence?
And I would go for it. Like early on.
Oh yeah.
Like I would do something first. First play. Like I would look. Everybody's probably
Raiola
thinking we're gonna I would do a flea. I would do a flea flicker first play. Like that. That's the type of stuff I would do just to set it off. You know what I'm saying? I would, bro. I would set it off right after, because everybody's thinking UTEP. I even think they're thinking downhill, get into these gaps. They're probably going to run. They're probably more physically up front, and you catch them slipping first play. Nobody's going to expect you to do something like that first play.
I'll put a meal from one of our station sponsors. If they run a flea flicker, I'll buy you a meal.
Oh, okay. Show you.
If they don't run a flea flicker, you don't have to get me anything. But if they do, I'll put that on that.
That's it. You heard it. You heard it.
It's here.
You see how he does me on Shootout with Strick. You see how he do me.
Entirely fairly. Let's go to break. We'll call up Brian Munson of Husker Online, talk to Husker recruiting, what to expect here as the season gets started right after this during On the Block.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, expecting mainly sunny skies, and it will be hot. We'll see an afternoon high around 104. Tonight, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise mainly clear with the low near 71. And tomorrow, a slight chance of showers and storms, otherwise mostly sunny with a high around 91. I'm meteorologist Kyle Puck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and Truck Month is back. We have absolutely gigantic savings right now at Coppell. They are offering $12,500 off on select new pickups. That is not a mistake. You heard right. $12,500 off list price right now on select new pickups. Those discounted units, though, will not last long. These are all manager specials. You have to come in now, so hurry in down 144th Street or shop online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. Stock number G356093 must trade.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive. Always honest answers.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Wilbur-Claytonia Schools, home of the Wolverines, online at wilburclaytonia.org, reminds you fall semester is just beginning. Please remember to reduce travel speed through school zones and stay off your cell phone. Also, make sure to come to a full stop while students board and exit school buses. Don't forget, the future of the world is found in our schools. And over 600 students are enrolled at Wilbur-Claytonia Schools, an equal opportunity education provider. Call 402-821-2266.
The pros out at Tuffy Auto Service Center in Lincoln salute America's armed forces and all of our military veterans for the sacrifices they've made. Our troops are our angels of freedom, our wings of protection, fighting to defend our country. We honor our warriors for their dedication and bravery, as well as our veterans and those who've given their lives, America's true heroes. From Tuffy Auto Service Center in Lincoln, saluting those who make our country stronger.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back here on the block. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you. We turn our attention to our VIP line brought to you by Allo Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. We welcome in Husker Online's Brian Munson. Brian, you made it to Game Week just like the rest of us. How you feeling?
Well, we're almost there. I mean, obviously we got a little bit of a dose on Saturday. That was exciting enough, huh? I mean, that was a tremendous game on Saturday. I think that Georgia Tech played an excellent game, and then we get a little bit more on Thursday with North Dakota State and Colorado, and sooner before later, man, it's going to be time in Memorial Stadium on Saturday, dude.
Do you have a read on Thursday's game? Do you think that the Bison are able to keep it close? Do you think Colorado's too talented with North Dakota State losing its head coach and not the same program? Where are you at with that game?
You know, I don't have a look. I think that this is the kind of game right here that all Division I head coaches hate to play. You got a team that's obviously very talented. NDSU, they've got a lot of talent on that side of the. They got the ability to go ahead and just basically run over everybody in their division, and you run the risk of basically overlooking them. You've got Nebraska, the week after, so you could be looking a little bit too far down the road. You've had some distractions this week in Boulder about, barring a reporter from asking questions, and it just seems like there's nothing been positive, like in that regard, coming out of Boulder. So there is a thing, at least, that kind of supports the idea this is a trap game. So I think think it's going to be a little closer than what people kind of suggest. I know that Colorado's a very talented team. I think people look past, the development aspect that you get from going to a school like North Dakota State and how they kind of do their things with their program. So I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close Thursday night. It's going to be a good game. And I think it's one of those things that people can kind of use to get ready for 2 weeks down the road.
Trap.
No doubt.
Trap game. Like a mug.
Yep, no doubt.
Brian, before we get into some current recruiting, let's maybe just take a look back at the summer, right, for Nebraska. Let's start with maybe the negative. We'll move into the positive. What did Nebraska not get accomplished this summer that you think the coaching staff would have liked to, whether, for anything in 24 or more likely 25 and beyond?
They're still missing on those top guys. Sanders Jr., there's a forecast or prediction today for Michael Terry to go to Texas. Even though you're kind of waiting for him to come back to town next week. You missed on several of those top wide receivers, although you still have Hayes and Carpenter in the class. You didn't get Cortez Mills. You didn't get, you're going to miss potentially on Terry. You have Emmanuel Choice, another one right there, but it looks like Nebraska still can get into that top three, top four for those guys, can get on that final list. And then they just end up missing on them because I don't think that they have quite the run yet that they need to kind of be able to kind of do stuff. I think they need to have a little bit more success, have a little bit more of a winning record, show that they're on the right path to kind of getting that done. And then that's what they need to have to leverage, against, getting some of those guys a little bit more serious by Nebraska. They're making final twos, final threes. They're just not getting those guys on the board quite yet. And that's got to be frustrating for Rule, because I think that he can lay out a convincing plan. I think he can lay out, look, the path to the field is you sign on the dotted line and you come to Lincoln, you learn the offense or you learn the defense, and you're going to get an opportunity. I'm going to play the best guy available, whether it's a fifth-year senior or it's a brand new guy that just showed up in Lincoln yesterday.
Brian, as we look at this Nebraska schedule, I mean, you don't want to predict 7-0 for a team that hasn't done that dating back to 2016, but there's at least a runway there where you can talk yourself into it. Are recruits looking at who Nebraska is playing at 7-0, where we know Nebraska has a lot of, visitors scheduled for this first month of the season with the first 4 games at home? Is momentum real enough in recruiting where recruits wouldn't care that Nebraska didn't beat, a top 5 team, a top 15 team, or even a top 25 team? As long as the vibes are good, they might, get pushed over the edge? Or is this where Nebraska needs a couple seasons of run in a big win or two to maybe, start moving the needle?
It's the latter. I think that you can start to, Jackson Cantwell is a very interesting guy, right? The number one offensive tackle in the country from Nixa, Missouri is going to be in Lincoln on, September the 7th against Colorado. That guy right there is considering, of course, Alabama and Georgia and LSU and Missouri. I mean, he's got, all these SEC programs along with Nebraska that obviously are on his list. You can start to show 2026s, that I think that you're starting to have that kind of run that you're talking about there. I don't think you can move the needle well enough with the 2025. So if there was a way to kind of dig back into things, you're going to kind of have both a good and a bad. The bad meaning that that another team that these other guys were committed to or were considering, has the head coach has gotten fired. They didn't start out the way that they wanted to. To where you could kind of be convincing enough for, a 2025 to kind of come back around and take a look at Nebraska. But I think Nebraska needs to get focused on the 26s and the 27th because of what you just said. They can get to 7-0. They can do that. They can start out that way. And then they need to be pushing that out there on the 2026s and the 2027s. If they can find a way in with the 2025, then great. They should be trying to look for, another offensive tackle to kind of go along with what they've got currently. They're still in the market for a linebacker. Obviously, I think they'd be looking to upgrade anything that they could possibly do at the same time. But I think that really you're trying to leverage that for the juniors and the sophomores in the years to come.
I know there's a phrase, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Is that applicable in recruiting? Did Nebraska get worse, off as a program and it's standing with Missouri on the way up, Kansas State and Kansas improving as well? Or did Nebraska get better this offseason? Did Nebraska improve its standing to, not just make the record get closer to those teams, but in recruiting to, maybe make up some ground that they might have lost?
I think that there is some truth to it. It's kind of hard to decipher because recruiting is this inexact science. You
Sure.
think somebody else has predefined the donkey, and now you're pinning the tail on it. And the bad news about the tail or the bullseye, is that bullseye is gonna, is the recruit. He's gonna go to a school. He's looking for ideal circumstances about like how he's going to develop. Barring injuries and setbacks and academic issues and whatever else goes along with his time in college, he needs great circumstances and great things around him to become the best possible player that he can be. So if everything is kind of everything being equal, I do feel like Nebraska has gotten better in some areas. I think that they have had a better chance to kind of get out there and they can do their things. And I think the Midwest is where they've been a little bit more accomplished this year. They've lost a little bit in Texas. They're still kind of trying to find a footing, I think, this year in Florida, which was so good to them in last year's class. You're wondering what kind of identity ever they're going to have in California, especially like when you add teams like UCLA and USC to the Big Ten Conference, you raise or increase the awareness of the Big Ten Conference, which obviously out there is very, very little. So I think that those are the things there to me that I still have question marks about. Like how is Nebraska going to go out there and really truly still be effective in Texas? Like Sarkisian's doing his best to lock down the state. Anybody right now, like with the A&M or the UT offers, they're tough to get out. So I think that they need to try to find a way to be more consistent in Texas. I think they need to try to find a way to get back into Florida and be consistent there. And, show me a plan for California, because I think that they're kind of onesie twosie here and there, but nothing is real consistent. Nothing's really full force. I think a lot of that is going to matter about like with what happens with Tony White at the end of the season. Is he going to get that head coaching opportunity? Because he seems to be one of the guys that I think that has the most kind of ties up there to the state of California.
What about like a Donovan Raiola? We think about the Hawaiian connection. Is there anything on the West Coast, a Polynesian connection with him, or you think it's just primarily Tony White on the staff right now?
Well, I think he does. I think actually Coach Raiola's got some really good ties into Utah too. That's back through Finoti and Finoti being, kind of the mentor trainer for the offensive linemen as well. But I think that obviously the Raiola, I don't think people really understand. The Raiola name in Hawaii is almost like royalty. It is literally kind of held in that regard. So I think that honestly, when he shows up in the state of Hawaii and is recruiting a guy, it gets noticed. And I think that they know obviously who Dominic and Donovan are. They know the bloodlines back to Dylan. So it's one of those things. I think he can be effective in the state of Hawaii. And I think they're doing pretty well getting the Tom Mua last year and getting Torres this year. I think they're doing pretty good in that state. I think that they can be more effective in the state of Utah too, and I think that can get opened up by Raiola as well.
I want your thoughts on that. What would your plan be if you're the head coach or you're starting a program, you want to make inroads in California and Utah? Obviously winning, right? Those are proud high school football states with plenty of good college football teams in them. What would your plan be for Nebraska to attack those two states?
Well, you got to identify very quickly, who are the players that are interested in leaving the state. A lot of those guys, they'll just flat out tell you that they are not staying in California. So you have to know who those players are, and you have to target those guys. If they're your kind of players, they're your profile players, you have to know who they are, and you have to recruit them, and basically you stay on them. I think another area too, I kind of skipped over the Midwest. I think that they've done really well in the Midwest, but I think that, when you hire a guy like Jamar Mosey, you want to get really serious about Kansas City. And I think when you got a guy like on your commitment list, like Isaiah Mosey, you have a little bit of a success wave that you want to kind of ride out there in Kansas City. And I think Nebraska's been looking for any type of inroads to happen there. I think that they're going to want to do something very similar to what they need to do in California, and that is identify the guys that they feel they can get to leave the state of Missouri, because Missouri obviously is dialing it up with NIL. They're throwing a lot of money around at those kids to stay home. And then you kind of have like those next tier of programs that seem to kind of get the players that are either, you know, considering Missouri, or they can kind of get them to leave, like in Oklahoma. You need to kind of find a way to get into that kind of competition with those schools for those players, those top players that want to leave the state. So I think it's very similar. You just need to identify the players that you feel like are willing to leave, if given kind of NIL being equal, and then you can kind of sell them on the facilities, the coaching staff, the success, all the other things that kind of come along with it, and show why Nebraska would be a great place for them to go.
All right, Brian, game week, like we mentioned, Saturday, the first opportunity. What does the visit situation look like for Nebraska? I'm sure you'll be writing better. Don't want to steal all your thunder. I want to make sure people go to Husker Online and read it, but maybe just a little taste, a sneak peek of what fans can expect, who fans can expect to see on Saturday against UTEP.
Yeah, I'm really kind of expecting a lot more of the local guys there this week. Obviously, everybody's coming in for September 7th, and they can all get that information basically for free if they go to Husker Online and do the drop-down visit of recruiting and click on visits. That it'll pop up for each weekend. They'll notice that basically I don't have anything in there for UTEP yet, because essentially all the local guys said, I'm going to be there every week. And I've really been focusing on all the out-of-state guys and when they plan on coming back in, whether it's Hammerbeck in South Dakota or, you know, Lakeith out in California. But all of those guys right now are mainly coming in for Colorado. So I would look for this weekend to be kind of a refinement of the process kind of thing for, you know, Sean Padden and Vince Ginta and Mosey and those guys to kind of figure out how the recruiting is going to work. You know, how are they going to handle that large of a group, you know, the next week when they come back into town against Colorado. And they got some really good opportunities to kind of do that because of the game start time. But I think it's going to be mainly local and regional guys, and I'll have a much better handle on who all those guys are going to be either like Wednesday, Thursday this week.
There you go. Husker Online or Brian Munson _ on Twitter to stay up to date with all of that. Brian, once again, we made it. I can't stop saying it. It is game week. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hope it goes quick, and we'll have plenty more to talk about on Monday.
Sounds great, man. Be good.
All right, man.
It's Brian Munson of Husker Online with us on our VIP line, brought to you by Aloe Fiber, where they understand what, Stricky?
Oh, you snuck it on
you. I called on you.
Damn, that was like
the importance of
exceptional
what, Stricky?
Exceptional service with local heart.
Hey, there's Easter.
Yeah, you got me. You threw the curveball. You threw that 91-mile-an-hour slider that I can't hit.
Yeah, Bobby Witt can. 413 feet.
Took it out. You
Game
sure did.
winning home run. He's that man.
You got me.
You recovered, though. You made it. You recovered. Teacher called on you. You weren't ready.
That's
you made it with an answer. It's all good. We'll go to break. We'll cross over with Old School. Get you set up for Old School right after this.
You've seen them come and go. Franchise testosterone clinics that pop up and then whoosh, they're gone. These franchise clinics quickly find out it's not easy to compete with Limitless Male. Limitless is locally owned and operated with a flawless protocol that has elevated them to be the best in men's testosterone replacement and sexual performance. By adding GLP-1s, our patients are losing weight in a healthy way. To feel your optimal best, schedule a free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
And with special Labor Day savings on top name electronics, you can take your home, backyard, or tailgate to an all-new level. Choose from top name TVs like Sony, LG, and Samsung, including Samsung's popular frame TV that blends seamlessly into your decor. Experience game day throughout your entire home with a new audio system from Sonos, now with special Labor Day bundle savings. Transform your game day this Labor Day with the experts at Schaefer's.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
LES is proud to be powered by your family, your friends, your neighbors, local people serving local people. Learn more about what a career at LES can offer you at les.com/careers.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
The pros out at Tuffy Auto Service Center in Lincoln salute America's armed forces and all of our military veterans for the sacrifices they've made. Our troops are our angels of freedom, our wings of protection, fighting to defend our country. We honor our warriors for their dedication and bravery, as well as our veterans and those who've given their lives, America's true heroes. From Tuffy Auto Service Center in Lincoln, saluting those who make our country stronger.
Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I was noticing on your website, you have more than 150 new 2024 and 2025 Hondas in stock right now.
Yes, we do, Charlie. It's neat when you drive by and see all the cars on our lot, and we have most all models in all different colors available, and we even have more than hundreds on the way. We also have the all-new, all-electric 2024 Honda Prologue in stock right now. We have a few of them to choose from, plus qualified buyers get financing from just 1.9% APR.
How about your pre-owned selection?
I talked to a lot of my customers and friends, and they still think that we just sell brand new Hondas, but we sell all different models, make of pre-owned cars, and we have more than 100 to choose from right now.
Well, maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line, here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Wilbur-Clatonia Schools, home of the Wolverines, online at wilburclatonia.org, reminds you fall semester is just beginning. Please remember to reduce travel speed through school zones and stay off your cell phone. Also, make sure to come to a full stop while students board and exit school buses. Don't forget, the future of the world is found in our schools. And over 600 students are enrolled at Wilbur-Clatonia Schools, an equal opportunity education provider. Call 402-821-2266.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back one final time here during On the Block. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you. Joined in the middle now by Jay Foreman. Jay, welcome in.
What's popping?
Oh, it's depth chart day. I see you looking at it right now.
Yeah,
Take us back to your first depth chart day. What'd you find out? What'd you learn? First depth chart day. What do
today?
coaches do? No, like you. You get to
when I
campus.
play?
Yeah, depth chart day. What was that like in the locker room?
You kind of knew before, but it's just confirmation. But when I saw my name up there, I was the black version of the dude on the program.
Pretty hype?
Yeah, what's his name? Latimer. I said, yes. Starting defense. Place at the table.
Yeah, spot at the
Yeah. Yes, sir. We were going down
You're
to
at the King's
Stillwater.
table, my boy.
I was going down to Stillwater and represent.
And then you see you start next, and you're like, oh, not that guy. No, I'm kidding. You're playing some loaded teams, so.
Yeah, we was all right. We handled it.
You was at the round table. You was at King Arthur's table, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
You was there.
I was at King Henry's table, the 8th. We was chopping
You
head.
are old, my boy.
Yeah.
We got
This
a
dude over
question.
here.
I know Strick wants to get to it, so I'm going to ask him while he's busy acting a fool over there. You good? You want to ask your question?
No,
Stricky?
man. I was just dumbfounded. So I thought, look, you can probably look at me and say, Stricky don't have a freaking clue what he's talking about. That's cool. I can accept that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can look at Austin and say, you know, he may be able to shoot, but he don't know what the freak he's talking about. Okay, we can accept that. But Jay Feasy, it'd be hard pressed to say that about you, being that you have internal connections. You've been down there. There's a few things. She's back. There's a few things, my boy, that I just as an athlete can infer just by what I witness. Okay. So there's a young man that I'm not gonna say he's a young man. I don't know him, but I'm gonna say he's a great man, good man. Named Stevie Wilson on the stream came in, and he asked this question. He said, because we were talking about the depth chart, and we talked about Bonner and his size, his physicality, and somebody asked the question if whether or not Bonner could be Debo Samuels. Me and Austin kind of just put a pause on it and just said, wait, I mean, I might be stretching it a little bit. I mean, I can't say that he may be that. I don't know if he has the shiftiness. I think Austin maybe said, and I may have said or reiterated. And he came back on and went nuts on us, basically saying we don't know what the heck we talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
And so I'm just saying, yeah. I mean, I said this. I responded. I said, if I would have came out or Austin would have came out and said, yeah, he's Debo Samuels 2.0, you would have looked at us like we was crazy.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you can't infer that as just an observer.
Right.
You can't infer that if they put where he started, they put him at running a fullback.
Yeah.
If he was Tyreek Hill with the feet, there's no way they put him at fullback. It's just, I mean, there's just no way you put a person at fullback that way, right?
Yeah.
If he's that, there's no way you put him as a down lineman. You put him as a cornerback. I mean, you can infer those type of things. If you got good footwork, good hips, you can move your shifty, you know. And then the response was, you guys don't have a clue because, you know, we haven't seen him get one target, one play. We don't know what he can and can't do. I agree with that.
Right.
You don't know.
Right, yeah.
But you can infer. But
yeah,
what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? Because you've
I-
actually seen him. You know.
Yeah.
Is he
I
Samuels 2.0?
haven't seen him, you know, because I'm not down to practice, but I think with his size, I think what he was trying to say is he has a lot of position flexibility. So maybe not Debo Samuel like apples to apples, but Debo Samuel plays running back, he plays X receiver, he plays Y, he plays slot. Sometimes he lines up at a tight end position. I think he was saying, because we hadn't talked to him, I think he was saying that maybe he could be Nebraska's version of Debo Samuel, what gives you a lot of position flexibility. I will say this. Bonner used to be a receiver, and I think he has an interesting story is that he broke his leg or femur, right? Yeah. And so everybody backed off him. My man could pick him up, put him down. Then obviously he's a big dude. So, you know, whether it was tight end, fullback, and I think they used their fullback a little bit different. I think that he could give you a little bit, maybe not Debo Samuel, but I think he could provide the Jusek. They call him Juice. Kyle Jusek.
So, okay, Kyle Jusek. Okay,
in the same team.
Here's where it wasn't even really the Debo Samuels is not it. I think Stevie's reference went towards what Austin had to say about yak yards. That's where he was. That's where the real difference was. It's not even really the Debo Samuels comparison. Yeah. And so, I mean, I appreciate the response. I'm
Right.
just saying you would have looked at me crazy.
Yeah,
But
I think
as I look at it, he's looking at he could be a super yak.
I
type
think
of
he
guy.
can. Well,
that?
I think what he does, at least just look like seen him a few times and saw him, last year. I think if you get him matched up with somebody, he could be a problem. Now everything's got to continue to work out, but I think he gives you a lot of like flexibility. It's almost like here's a comparison to basketball. It's like the Golden State Warriors. They could play. Remember when they were really rolling? They could play big if they needed to. They would overwhelm you with a bunch of 6'7" guys, and Livingston coming out. He's the point guard, 6'7", 6'8", killing you with mid-range and timely threes. Then you got Steph kind of just freelancing. I think when you have somebody that has a lot of flexibility in different body types, I think it gives you more options, and it helps the game plan against defenses, and it hurts defenses because if you have a guy think about Shannon Sharp. Now I'm not comparing him to Shannon Sharp. This is the size of Shannon Sharp when he first came into the league. Technically, he was a tight end. Realistically, he was a slot. Now he found a way to eventually get bigger, and obviously look at him now to be a more than capable blocker. But what he was able to do is get matched up with somebody like me, right? He's probably faster than I was, or as fast, right? But then
he's able.
Yeah, well, that gains you ground, Austin. Just to let you know, right? Just to let you know, and you're gonna find out first week. So, but then he's running offensive routes, right? And he's smaller than I was because I was 240, he's 220, so it gives you pass catching ability. Then he's physical enough because he's willing to play fullback. Well, it allows you to have a fullback type that can kick out block. Like
That's what I said.
Well, here's also. But then it gives you.
I said versatility too, right. But I'm saying that's where I think
But then he can line up in the slot,
right?
And he can run routes. And where he can be a big problem is if they say their nickel is what's the average 5'10", 185, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's 4 inches and 40 pounds.
Right. That's a big dude that you're trying to match up with. Now
That's what I felt physicality.
Right. So now you got him in the slot.
Yeah.
Now you are breaking tackles. Now you're up, and then if you try to get a safety on him, just a regular safety. Not a really not Newbin from Minnesota. It's just a regular kind of every game safety.
Not Thieneman, not Wohler.
Right. Now you in trouble. So then also he allows you to do some things. I think didn't they run like a tight end kind of reverse with him or something like that last year? Or did some sort of
I remember the one that Mike Riley ran with Ethan Carter to ice
maybe
the Rutgers game.
maybe I'm tripping. That was a long time. But you could do stuff like that.
I think they got one with your boy Borkature though.
They did, or maybe it was like a quick. I don't really remember, but
it's like one of those.
But it gives
like a tunnel.
Yeah, tunnel street. So he gives you a lot of options, flexibility. It puts it if he performs along with everybody else, now you're talking. What really hurts an inside linebacker in my opinion, a defense is different body types that can be effective in their own way in the middle of the field. I'm a big believer, and this is just my personal opinion. Now, granted, if I have Randy Moss on the outside, you can be. That's how you're going to become explosive. And I think Nebraska's receivers are really, really good.
But they're not Randy Moss.
There's not many. There's never a Randy Moss.
There's
Calvin
one Randy
Johnson. Yeah, I look at it like this: if you can dominate the middle of the field and be effective and efficient, with different body types, different route combinations, the same routes with different body types, you instantly become explosive. You instantly become efficient. Now
that's why you're Florida's with the Hernandez and those guys in the middle.
Look at the Patriots.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be, and then look at Julian Edelman and Wes Welker.
Yeah.
They destroy you because these guys are so athletic. The way that it's spread out, you one misstep, one bad read by the inside linebacker or the nickel linebacker, they're gone. And then once you hit the sideline, cock your head back and then start striking up the band. It gives you a lot.
Is it striking it up? Like Nebraska or Wisconsin style, or like Jackson State and
HBCU. Yeah. I'll be high stepping. If you do it, you got to because what happens is. You complete the pass in the middle of the field, then you hit the sideline. These dudes are faster. You gone. I mean, that's just the way it is. Now it's easier said than done, and the Big Ten has obviously got a lot of great players, but position flexibility is how you even the score. And then also, let's not forget, I'm a big believer. I also like this. The offensive line needs to play good.
Yeah.
But if you can be physical out on the perimeter, that's another way. It's another way to provide body blows that you can go back. It's kind of like you're working on the outside and then you hit them in the finisher and with the body blows. Would now be conventional run game.
Let's pause 10 quick seconds for station identification here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
So, Jay, the way that I came with it was I thought because of the physicality, I thought in the slot, I loved what you said about the middle. But I also infer, because I can't tell you what they're going to do. I can't tell you what, the offensive style is going to be. And I can't tell you that. I can only infer. I just knew that setting the edge was something that Nebraska couldn't do very well. And so I said, somebody out there, there's a lot of different creative angles you can create with someone like a Bonner out there with that type of physicality to be able to set edges and get things cracking. So that's another reason why I felt it was a part of that versatility conversation.
I think a guy like Banks on the outside, right, big as he is as a physical blocker, that's where I think he can thrive too, where if he body blow, then late third and 5, you go to him, they're not going to tackle that.
Then he helps you with the run after catch. But I'm going to tell you the dude I like, though. And he wears we need to start the tradition. If you wear this number, your mind has to be right. Is my man Luke Lindenmeyer.
44.
Because he gives you a ton of flexibility. No, straight up.
That's like me going and saying, if you wear 21, and you better be a dog.
Then go talk to Fred. I'm talking right now.
Emma Johnson.
Right?
Emma Johnson.
But listen, here's why. Here's why he's in. I liked him even last year. If you go back to Colorado game, they were kind of messed up on their timing on the thing, like when they would motion and did the whole snap thing.
Snap hit him, yeah.
But as the season went on, he could be an inline blocker. He could be a motion blocker. And then if you want to reset and make it an easy read for a younger quarterback, I'm just talking from a defensive perspective, he can reset the edge with the size and strength. And also the most important thing, he's willing.
Mm-hmm.
So then also when you talked about Bonner, you got two guys that are willing to do it, two different body types. Just in case if you don't switch the defense and flip the defense over, you got a big tight end on a little pipsqueak corner that's going to try to be a hard corner, or you got a big linebacker trying to keep up with Bonner, say play action passes and stuff like that. So potentially it could be pretty good, and it won't be every week. When you think about think about San Francisco, right? So here's what makes people don't understand what makes San Francisco offense go, and this is why Brock Purdy will struggle if he doesn't have all of his weapons. I don't care what anybody says.
Last week, I said that Cade McNamara is the Brock Purdy of college football. Take him out of that system.
You took him out of Michigan.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I said, things were a lot more open in Michigan, but his footwork is busted. So here's what makes San Francisco offense go. Now, obviously, they really a big emphasis on the run. And obviously, when you got one of the best offensive tackles, the best right now, one of the best of all time playing, along with their mentality to be physical, and obviously Christian McCaffrey, that's where the thing starts. But when you have Jusek as a fullback, right, that you can run, you can run smoke screens with him, now screens, toner screens with him. He can hit you on a wheel route. He can run in the slot. Then you got George Kittle, who probably end up by the end of his career Hall of Fame numbers, right?
Yeah.
Then you got Deebo Samuel that can play all those positions as well and do everything efficiently. Then you have Brandon Ayuk out there. So what they're doing, they're stretching your defense both horizontally and vertically.
Yeah.
And then when they decide they want to play bully ball, and especially if you have inside linebackers that are not really good with their reads, then that's where they kill you with Christian McCaffrey. Then they kill you with Jusek. Then you just back on your heels. And then you're up. And the funny thing is, everybody thinks they run a whole bunch of different plays. They just run 6 plays, just run it differently.
Package it up differently. They'll bring an 89 to tight end. And you saw in the Super Bowl when he came in, he wasn't as efficient in the block game, and then he messed up the passing route. But he's good as a secondary blocker. So now you come in, say you got 22 personnel, right? That's 2 backs, 2 tight ends. So defensively, you think, okay, this is run game.
Yeah.
Okay, you can keep the tight end wing over there. Now you can run inside, outside zone because Jusek is really good at kicking out the backside. So you can run inside, outside zone, but you're playing big boy. You're bringing your big lineup in, right? Because you're thinking it's 22 personnel. That's 9 on 7.
Yeah.
Well, he hit the backside gap. That's a 10-yard play. 22 personnel again. Inside, outside zone action. Well, Juice X to the flatten up and hit you up on the wheel route. Here comes George Kittle on a drag route.
Yep.
And then here goes Brandon Ayuk or whatever on the secondary, skinny post. Call it a bang 8. Now, they did that against Detroit, just went off the dude's helmet, and he made it. But that's how you were able to, from a pro level, just put guys on their heels, and they run it so efficiently. And you could put Jusek out there as the one, bring Debo Samuel in there.
Mm-hmm.
You might think he's blocking. Well, all he has to do is stand in front of a defensive end and go out. So he blocked him. It's kind of, we used to call it a ghost block. Yeah, I'm blocking you. I'm gone. Well, the defensive end stops. He comes up field, right? Boom, out the gate, 98. All same personnel.
All same personnel,
Yeah.
just a different look on it.
Yeah, and then you mad. Like everybody asking what happened. They don't know, but nobody known anything.
Convenient.
Yeah, convenient.
Convenient
Yeah,
how that
we
Selective memory.
used to have to wait till the film come down. We get little Polaroids.
And
Now they
they
got iPads.
Live and in color.
On the freaking
On the
sideline.
sideline.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, it'd be on and popping.
It do be. Same with old school. Comes your way next. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance